Is an Epstein bomb about to drop? I don't know the answer to that question, but a member of Congress seems to think so. I have a tweet right here that Representative Eric Swalwell posted this morning. Here's what he wrote. It's coming to an end, guys. I've spoken to a lot of House Republicans this week, and they've confided that Trump's movement/support is fading. As one told me, quote, this Epstein bomb is about to drop, and no one wants to defend a pedo protector. It's just a matter of time. He followed up that tweet by writing this. One Republican just texted me that if there's a discharge vote on Epstein, they expect a jailbreak of over 100 members. Trump will go nuts. Look, I don't know if any of this is true. I don't even know what an Epstein bomb would look like. But here's what I know. I would expect at least that Eric Swalwell would not post this if he did not have good reason to believe that it's true. I don't think he's making this up. I don't think he's making up a conversation, this text exchange that he had with this Republican, or that he's heard from other or that he's heard from other Republicans about this. I have no reason to doubt it. It'd be pretty stupid, it seems to me, for him to come out and say something like this. But here's what else I know. Donald Trump is scared to death of this Epstein stuff coming out, which is why he has tried so desperately to cover it all up and to change the subject. I truly believe, as I have explained to you before, I believe that he believes that the information, if it came out, would be so bad for him that it would destroy him. That he would be impeached, removed from office, and prosecuted, and that he would spend the rest of his life in prison. That's what I believe. I think that his crimes that he committed, or that he may have committed, because I don't have any evidence, but I believe, not based on any evidence, but based on his behavior, the things that he has said and the things that he has done, I believe that he has committed crimes with his buddy Jeffrey Epstein and against young girls that are so horrendous that if they came out, he would be destroyed. He would be run from office and he would be prosecuted. And he would be sent to prison for the rest of his life. I believe that that's what he believes. And here's what else I know to be true. When he talks about how if there's a discharge vote on Epstein, they expect a jailbreak of over 100 members, I think that there could be a situation like could happen with this Epstein stuff that would cause Republicans to abandon him in droves. Maybe not so much the rank and file Republicans, his cult, but members of Congress. I've been telling you, most members of Congress, most Republicans in Congress are not part of his cult. They fucking hate this guy. They hate that they have to defend him. They hate that he has turned conservatism on its head. They hate the fact that they now have to take the exact opposite position on almost every issue that they used to espouse just a few years ago. I mean, these people have had to eat shit sandwich after shit sandwich, and they don't like it. They friggin' hate this guy. They know he's a criminal. They know he's an insurrectionist. They know he is a rapist. They know all of this. They hate that he's the leader of the party. They wish that he wasn't reelected. They wished that Merrick Garland had appointed a special prosecutor sooner so that Donald Trump would be sitting in a prison cell right now instead of in the White House. I know a lot of people don't believe that that's true. They think that most Republicans in Congress are part of his cult and that they willingly go along with this. They don't. They're cowards. They're cowards. All right? That's why they go along. And I'm not saying this as an excuse. If anything, I think that's worse. That they go along with it, that they know everything about Donald Trump. They don't support any of this stuff. They don't support his policies. You think any of them are in favor of these tariffs? They didn't want to vote for that big piece of shit bill, most of them. But they did because they're cowards, absolute cowards. And I think that's even worse than if they were true believers in everything Donald Trump is doing. The fact that they know all of this and they go along with it anyway because they're cowards, I think that's worse. But the fact of the matter is, they don't like this guy. They cannot wait for this guy to be gone from the scene. And if some situation were to happen that would cause Republicans to start abandoning him, it would be like a flood, because they would see their opportunity and their safety in numbers. And if there was something that was so bad that came out about him, like what I think he's hiding and covering up in these Epstein files, if something that bad came out, I think they would see their opportunity. They might leave him in droves, just all abandon him at once. I don't know that that's going to happen. I'm not predicting that that's going to happen, but I can see something like that happening depending upon what happens with this Epstein stuff. So when he says that it's coming to an end, guys, I've spoken to a lot of House Republicans this week, and they've confided that Trump's movement is fading. And one told me this Epstein bomb is about to drop. And no one wants to defend a pedo protector. I don't know what the Epstein bomb is, but I sure as hell hope that it's gonna blow up big time and soon. I hope this guy is right. And, Mike Johnson is intentionally delaying the swearing in of Representative-elect Gravalia, is that her name? If I said it wrong, I apologize. From Arizona, just to put off a vote on this Epstein discharge petition. She would be the 218th vote. He can't put this off forever. She will soon be sworn in, and she will be the 218th vote on this discharge petition. I think that's what he's talking about, at least in part, that she's going to be sworn in, sign that discharge petition, and that Republicans are going to vote for this. And that Trump is going to blow up. We'll see where it goes. I don't think it's going to be enough just for Donald Trump to blow up. I mean, if the Epstein bomb that he's referring to is just the fact that there's going to be a 218th vote on a signature on a discharge petition, that's not going to do it. We're going to actually have to have information released about what Donald Trump did or is covering up. It's not going to be good enough just to, a discharge petition, that's not going to do it, right? So say they sign this discharge petition and they all vote on it, and they vote overwhelmingly to release the Epstein files. Well, they don't have any power to release the Epstein files. That would still have to be done by the Department of Justice, which Trump controls. He's not going to allow that information to come out. So if that's all he's talking about here, that's not going to do it. But if at some point there really truly is an Epstein bomb that is dropped, whereby we actually learn what this criminal piece of shit's involvement was with Jeffrey Epstein, what he's covering up, what he doesn't want us to know, what he did to young girls. Now if that is the kind of bomb he's talking about, or if that comes out at some point in time, I do believe that is the kind of thing that could cause Republicans to leave him in droves. This guy is weaker than he appears. This authoritarian shit in the streets, he's able to do that because he's president and because he's giving orders and people in his administration are following those orders. But politically, he is not nearly as strong as he appears. And there are a lot of Republicans who do not want to go along with this, and they're starting to speak out. Marjorie Taylor Greene is appearing to cut ties with Trump. She's pissed. She's been bullied and threatened by Donald Trump's White House because she wants the Epstein files released. There's a lot of them that are pissed. There's a lot of them that have been bullied. They're sick and tired of it. They know Donald Trump is dirty as hell. I don't know if they'll ever get the courage to abandon him and turn against him. I do know that the only way that that's going to happen is if they do it collectively. One by one, they're not going to do it. Someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think, would. She actually has balls, okay? Unlike most of the men in the Republican conference who have none. But the vast majority of them are cowards, and it's going to take them all banding together and just abandoning him all at once. Safety in numbers kind of stuff. Anyway, just want to tell you that's out there. You know, admittedly, a lot of this is what I'm hoping to happen, but it's also what I believe can happen, because I truly believe that what he's covering up in those Epstein files would destroy him if we knew about it. Whether we ever will, that's a different question. But anyway, let's hope. Fingers crossed. Thanks for watching. Talk to you again soon.